check a look.
Welcome, everybody, to Crazy Train of Thought, brought to you by the Idiot Savants. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am your host, Ryan Wolf. We are live from Savant Studios. We have a badass episode planned for you today. Joining me, I have...
Digimaster Troy Osborn.
Okay. Thank you, Troy, Digimaster. It says Pokèmaster. Is that okay? Do I need to change it?
I'm a variant. I don't have a beard. I don't have any hair. I'm a variant.
That's pretty great. I had that joke planned. Oh my God, of course you did.
I'm not prepared.
That is the reason I shaved last night.
Fantastic. That is fantastic. Thank you so much for being here today, Troy. Next.
Madalyn.
Madalyn is here. Marvel expert Madalyn. Thank you for being here today. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I got a new Loki tattoo, so I'm happy.
Hell yeah. Fantastic. Good. Next.
I'm Hogey from the I Can Marvel All Day podcast, Marvel student. I don't want to claim expert after she claimed expert.
Yeah, you cannot be the expert. It's kind of my thing.
Oh, heard.
It's good to have you here, Hogey. I'm glad you're here. We decided to do a crossover episode. We talked about it last week in our pod.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We saved some of our Loki talk, for here. We didn't spill it all out on ours. So
good.
It was
really
hard.
excited for this.
It was very hard.
It was hard.
We're like, all right, let's skip forward.
All right, next.
I'm Shan from the I Can Marvel All Day podcast, and I'd say I have associate's degree in Marvel. We'll go with that.
Okay, good. Glad to have you here, Shan.
Thank you.
Next.
Colin Freakin Giffy.
Colin Freakin Giffy's back on the pod.
I have a master's in VR.
Yeah,
So-
VR Master.
Yeah.
Colin Freakin Giffy is here. Good to have you,
Master
man.
VR Shinobi.
So if you guys couldn't guess, listeners and viewers, we're going to talk about Loki today. And this is going to be a full spoilers, no holds barred. We're going to be going deep.
Okay.
into Loki. So yeah, we're not going to do any sort of recap. So please go watch Loki if you haven't seen it yet. We're gonna talk everything. Easter eggs. At the end, we'll probably do like a predictions thing. Is what I'm thinking. How this relates to the greater overall Marvel universe, stuff like that. So. Yeah, join us for the ride.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks. You need to watch it. It's been a couple weeks.
Come on, if you haven't already.
I finished it last night.
I'm still on WandaVision. We'll catch up.
So we'll start with the guests first. I think Shan or Hogey. Who wants to go first?
I'll do it.
Okay, Shan, hit it.
With Loki. Just what do we do with the...
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Favorite scenes, least favorite scenes. I don't care where we start.
Easily my favorite scene has to be the one with all the Lokis, with President Loki. When each Loki is trying to take over the other Loki at the same time.
In true Loki fashion.
Exactly. And then I don't know, what would you call it? Tom Hiddleston's Loki? I don't know. They're all him.
He's like our Loki.
Right.
Our
So
Loki, variant one. Let's just call him.
Variant Loki, I guess we could call him.
Yeah, variant Loki just sits there and realizes how ridiculous he has been his whole life. And then the crocodile bites the other Loki's hand off. Easily my favorite part. I watched it at least seven times.
It's an alligator.
Alligator Loki.
Oh, what a crocodile Loki.
It's not croaky?
It's not croaky? That's where it goes. Croaky sounds so good.
Yeah.
Easily my favorite part.
Okay.
That was a good scene.
It was.
That was really
when the
good.
blood sprays out of his hand. That's what it's like. I was like, oh, damn.
No, the scream. That's what gets me.
And everything just goes chaotic after that. It was not what I expected either, by the way, because I straight up was like, oh my God, President Loki's going to be such an asshole to everybody, and it's going to go downhill. No, like it just all spiraled so fast, and they were fine at the end of it. Like,
I thought President Loki and Kid Loki were going to like have a face-off because they both want to be in charge, but nope, just chaos erupted from President Loki wanting to be in charge.
Yeah, Kid Loki really didn't do anything.
No, he was a disappointment.
He's a ruler.
He did
He's a ruler.
He's the guy that's been there the longest, right? Because he came in as a kid. He's been there his whole life, and he's like, I've seen it all. It's probably the third or fourth time that he's seen all the Lokis in a room fighting.
Yeah, right. True.
this week.
It's just one more Loki now.
You can tell that's why they avoid fighting each other most of the time.
Were any of you surprised to see that many Loki variants together? Like, this is how many
was.
Yes.
times
Oh, nuts.
Loki has fucked up the timeline.
Yeah.
Every single one of those people, those individual Lokis, has done something to ruin the timeline.
It was fantastic seeing it all. It's unlimited amount. You know, like boastful Loki is a black guy, and we're like, hey, that's awesome just to see that.
And he's got Thor's hammer.
Right.
Well,
He
it's
has
like
a version of Thor's hammer. It's not actually Mjolnir.
it looks like a railroad
It's
tire.
a makeshift Mjolnir.
Sorry.
the expert here.
I want to be Thor. I want to be like Thor.
That's my associate's degree kicking in right there for that.
I was pretty excited at the end credit scene. There was like 4 of them, and I was like, whoa!
Yeah.
But and then the very next episode, there's
Right.
a whole lot more. So.
You get all them put together for sure.
But Kid Loki, like that's like, so you have Wiccan and Speed, right? We got Hawkeye on the way. Who else? I think America Chavez is supposed to be in
Yep.
like multiverse. So you got the Young Avengers
Isaiah
coming.
Bradley.
Isaiah Bradley was
Like,
featured, and
Let's back up. Chavez and Bradley.
Isaiah Bradley is Patriot.
Okay.
Well, is that Isaiah Bradley or was Isaiah Bradley Captain America? And it's
Elijah Bradley.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's his son.
Isaiah
Grandson.
was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
From
From Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So Elijah Bradley, his grandson, becomes Patriot, and then America Chavez is. Sometimes she's known as Miss America, but a lot of times she's just known as America Chavez. But her whole ability, she can punch and kick portals that are star shaped into other dimensions.
Multiverse.
Yes,
So it goes
It's
well with
like a
multiverse
necklace.
madness.
Okay. And we saw that person?
Not yet.
Not
yet.
But it's rumored, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like just seeing Kid Loki, which like I was kind of like, I hope we see Kid Loki, but that was pretty cool. And I hope we do have like a Young Avengers eventually in the MCU, like
Yeah.
teaming up.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
definitely.
That's what they need to have against the Dark Avengers. But we'll get to that later.
Hoagie, what was your favorite scene?
Gotta be, what's his name? Richard E. Grant
Yep.
with the old Loki making the whole Asgard and just that whole character arc and like the lines. I mean, it's beautiful. Like he really stole the show in episode 5.
Sure.
And talking about glorious purpose and then ties it all in with the glorious purpose right at the end. So that was pretty epic. The part I hated the most was that kiss.
Yep. I agree. I do agree.
It didn't need to happen. They'd just be friends.
No.
We
Loki is not a.
No,
I'm gonna
suck
be
it,
friends.
Hollywood. We don't need to romance every film.
You want to like dive into this right now? You're telling me if you met a girl version of you, you wouldn't try to bang them. I mean, I'm just saying. If it was an alternate universe, and I met a girl version of me,
Ryan, you're
pretty
married.
hot.
Like, you're-
Ryan, you're married.
yourself, man.
You are married.
doesn't count. I wonder.
Your marriage doesn't count.
Like,
Marriage count.
it's me, right? Like,
Hold on. Hey, is it masturbation at that point? Then? Like literally,
what
that's
I'm
what it's
saying.
got to be.
Ooh.
Wow.
I don't know if I'd be into myself as a variant if it looks like
I
me
really
as
don't.
a girl.
I
I'm
really
good.
don't think that's how it works.
We can get you a book though.
okay.
Yeah, we have a book on this. Kang actually has one.
Isn't that the definition of self-love right there?
No, I kid. I would not. If obviously I'm married. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
For
welcome for
reminding
the
me,
reminder.
Matt.
Yeah.
Just like everybody else does.
Way to bring the energy down, man.
All right, let's move on from that. Troy, what was your favorite scene?
I would say my favorite scene is actually before the kiss when the whole world's like gonna explode.
Okay.
With the planet coming in.
Yeah.
Just that that whole scene, watching the planet get closer and closer and everything around them just exploding. It just
yeah.
the way they shot that was really cool.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
I agree.
It's so frantic. They're running around. There's pieces of the moon or whatever it is
Loki,
falling all over.
like actually showcases his powers with the building that was falling, and he just puts it back with telepathy. That was awesome.
That was crazy because that was like the first time we really got to see Loki's power was when he did that. I was like, wait, what? Did he just stop a falling building?
The only other time we've seen his telepathy like that was in Thor Dark World when he's in his prison where he moves all the furniture.
Yeah, he moves all the
'cause he's mad.
furniture.
Oh, when he gets angry finding
Yeah.
out his mom died.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that was the only time that we've seen his telepathy.
Now he's got a little bit more control over it. Like, it didn't just come from a rage.
Yeah. Now he's like, oh, a building. I got it. Don't worry.
I mean, that would have. You would just saying that would have helped him against the.
We all got to
Avengers.
watch this again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, why haven't you been using that the whole time? Like, are you serious?
You faced the Hulk and didn't think that you needed to use that?
Yeah, he literally could have grabbed Iron Man and just went what do you like,
And that was weak, Tony Stark at that point.
Yeah,
Dude,
for real.
he's not even that great at that point.
Right. Madalyn, your favorite scene?
My favorite scene was in the finale when He Who Remains is just sitting there when they arrive. He's like, oh, you guys are finally here. Yeah, I have this planned out. Don't worry.
That guy
Come
was
sit down."
fantastic.
Yes.
I think, like, for me, he's the best. He
Yes.
stole the show
And
from
more
me.
to come,
Definitely
too.
did.
Jonathan Majors
Yes.
is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see, because we know he's confirmed to play Kang in Quantumania. I'm interested to see how differently he does Kang versus He Who Remains. Because we know it's a variant of Kang.
Yeah.
But I just want to see how that plays out. I also want to see him meet other versions of himself. Like he says that they've all fought. I want to see that. I want to see him interact with himself.
I want to see how much his acting range is.
Yes.
No,
Because
yeah,
he can
exactly.
do everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like coming up next is the that Watcher series. And so I was doing a little JV research, you know, like we're not experts, obviously. So doing a little JV research on the way over here and learning about, what's his name? Uatu the Watcher, the guy on Earth. He's actually come into contact with the Scarlet Centurion.
Yeah.
So there's like ways where it's like, wait a minute, is it coincidence? This Watcher series might be a continuation of the story and not just like bonus features.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if like this continues, this story from Loki is going to continue in that What If series. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that.
It's files from the TVA. That's
Yeah,
what
Maybe.
think it is.
I thought that the What If series is just going to be like, since the multiverse is opened, it's now just the stories that are happening in the multiverse. Like it's the different versions of it. So I think that it's going to continue in that way. So like I know one of the stories, T'Challa is going to end up being Star-Lord. I'm really interested to see that because obviously he's Wakandan. So I want to see if it is Yondu that takes him to be Star-Lord.
Yeah, like
is
he's
he
a
son of-
Ravager.
is he going to be a son of Ego and that's why he gets taken up there? Or is it just, oh, Yondu needs a little kid to get in the tight spaces so he can steal stuff. So I want to know how that plays out.
Right. It'll be cool.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
For sure. Colin, your favorite scene?
Favorite scene? Whew. I think I have to go with Troy, that one where the planets, or the moon, I guess. Or is it a planet crashing into a moon or vice versa?
I think
can't remember
it's the
which one.
moon crashing into the
Crashing into-
planet.
I thought that was it, but I was like,
Momentous
I never
one.
know. But yeah, like the way they shot that scene, like a lot of it was continuous shots. So like they did so many things in one take, and you could actually see the camera cuts happen, like when they pan over, and
Yeah.
like an object covers the camera for a second, and then it pans into the next shot. But yeah, they did a lot of it. A lot of it was continuous, and just that just scene just blew my mind. It was very gorgeous. Like there's not really that many beautiful. I mean, there are some beautiful scenes in Marvel, but that was like, holy crap.
Gorgeous
A bunch of people are
destruction.
dying right now, but it's amazing. I'm having a great time.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Made me want to cry. Not because I'm sad people are dying, but I'm like, enjoying the way that they are.
Beautiful. What do you think? Like, that's the first time that we really see those two together on the moon or on the planet. What do you think of their interactions when they kind of start first getting to know each other?
I don't know. Obviously, they didn't really trust each other at all.
That was the
Obviously,
best.
Yeah.
A variant one, I mean, our variant, Loki, seemed to trust her more than she trusts him for sure, but he still didn't trust her. Like, he still kind of wanted to do his own thing, but he kind of wanted to tease her and tag along, you know? Like, hey, what are you going to, like, who are you kind of thing? Like, I know you're me, but like,
What is your
definitely
plan?
different. What is your plan?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
You say you have a plan. All Lokis have plans. What's your plan?
Yeah, they have their own agenda. That's what it is. They want to take over.
Yeah, that's usually what it is. They're usually like, I need to be in control of everything. And that's what I honestly thought that was going to be. Loki was going to switch the whole time. I'm like, we've seen him do that so many times in Marvel. Like, we trust him for a second. And I've done it. I've trusted him each time. I'm like, oh, he's good now. He's good now. No, Loki, you're dead. I still don't believe you died. I still think I just got fooled.
Maybe not. Like
You're a floating space rock.
In Infinity War, it's like, nah, no way.
Nah.
I refused to
Did
believe
you-
that when I was leaving the theater.
Did you like classic Loki's example of like his reason that he escaped?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that
Thanos,
space
where-
rock
Yeah.
And he was like,
became an object.
It was-
yeah.
They basically put in the fan theory. It was like, yeah, I did.
Oh,
happen,
really?
Just not with our Loki.
Yeah, because that was a fan theory going around for a long time
Yep.
that Loki didn't die from Thanos and
He
that
was projecting
himself. Yeah.
Well,
And that's
now
what
people
classic-
are going back and
classic
going
Loki
through
said.
to see if he was in the background scene.
Well, you do
some
see an
people are saying-
object floating.
Right.
That's
It
yeah,
looks
yeah,
like
yeah.
his helmet. Like there's a piece of destroyed rock and it's floating away, and it looks like you see Loki's helmet just like float down like he's walking. So people were like, "Oh my gosh, Loki's alive! Like he didn't die.
Yeah.
Thanos didn't kill him."
But wouldn't the TVA have, like, it ends, his video ends.
Yeah,
on
that's
that-
true.
On that.
That's
Well, it's
true.
a different Loki, apparently.
yeah.
That variance timeline but continued on past that.
right.
There's
but
no
it-
rules at this point. You
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
have to make it
Yeah.
make sense.
Got a point.
That's a good point. Good point.
I thought that so
Like,
many
that's
times.
been
I'm like,
split wide open.
that doesn't make sense. And I'm like, this is literally time travel and
Yeah.
multiverse. I'm like, what am I even trying to do right now? Nothing makes sense.
It is now to comic book world.
Yes,
Like,
right.
Yeah.
Suspend
Whatever
your
you want to
disbelief.
happen.
We are so far beyond like having Iron Man's suit be bolted together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, for
right.
sure.
You got the scene where he's building the suit and he like gets in it the first time and it's like zip 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 and he gets in it like no, we don't even need that anymore.
No.
Right.
Well,
Get
nanotech.
The first time I noticed Marvel really going the direction of being further from the Iron Man being bolted together is when they did Guardians of the Galaxy.
Sure.
Like, and seeing them go to space and everything and all the things that were out there in space. I was like, there's so many things that they don't even know about back on Earth.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure Sam Jackson does, or Nick Fury, I should say. But like,
No, it's
he's
Sam
among,
Jackson.
yeah, he's Sam Jackson. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd love to see like Samuel L. Jackson. Every variant of him is exactly the same.
Yeah, it's just
Except for one is David Hasselhoff. One has to be David Hasselhoff.
Well, yeah, because are they going to bring in all the old movies? Like, is everything canon now? Like, that's what I want. And like all the Spider-Man rumors, you know, I didn't really.
X-Men is technically canon because it's in different universe now. Now we
Yep.
open the multiverse.
I
So
think that's how
Fox's
Deadpool's
X-Men.
coming.
The legacy.
Well, there's retcons
is
in
here.
X-Men too. So did
Yeah.
that happen? Did Professor X actually die? Like,
Which X-Men story?
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Not a fan of Cyclops or Professor X. They can leave them two out. I'm fine with that.
like when Professor X went into a new body and then he happened to be himself in the next movie. I'm like, makes sense. You got it. Awesome.
Nailed it.
Yeah, he took over a dying dude's body and survived. Gotcha.
X-Men hasn't made sense in the comics. It makes sense in the
That's
movie.
true.
They continued this.
That's true.
Continue the tradition. All right. I kind of like that. So obviously this is how they're going to bring mutants in to the Marvel universe.
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Marvel Cinematic Universe. Do we just completely ditch the Inhumans now?
I hope so.
I thought we already.
Hold on. No.
I thought we already did.
hope
Like the
so.
shows are no longer canon.
Hey, if
we're
if
gonna
they
have the
make
secret
it
invasion.
legit,
They?
I mean, they could be now, but no. Kevin Feige literally said no. Like we're not counting those. as
yeah,
being
even
legit.
Agents of Shield's not even.
Yeah,
canon.
Agent. Like so, technically, Agent Coulson might actually not be alive.
Ooh.
So that's a tough.
Heartbreaking.
It's a tough pill to swallow. But
Well,
now he is multiverse.
Technically, he's not.
alive somewhere.
He's a life model decoy, so
Yeah,
it's actually
so
not
technically, yes.
Coulson. So,
Yeah,
but
Coulson did die.
I mean, I would
dead.
if they do the Inhumans, like Black Bolt and Medusa are badasses, and I would love to see a good iteration of them in the MCU.
Yeah, that series was terrible.
It was so bad, like. I mean, you only got to
didn't
see Black
watch
Bolt's power one time.
Yeah.
He gets shot in the arm and goes, oh, and destroys the city block, basically.
That's the
And
only
it's
good
like,
part of the whole
oh,
series.
and it happened in the first episode. So you're like, I can't wait to see it again. Well, you're going to have to because it's not there.
I'm kind of bummed that a lot of that stuff is no longer canon just because of like I like Runaways.
Yes, Runaways is
It's
awesome.
good. It's a good show. I liked most of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., not all of it. And I think like since we've moved into the Disney Plus TV shows, so the 3 that we've gotten so far, I think Loki is the best out of any Marvel show that we've seen.
I agree.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
It's the one that blew my mind the most.
WandaVision.
Just because you're in love with Wanda.
I mean, literally, we had Wanda Maximoff the whole time, and then they gave us Scarlet Witch.
Super misleading though,
It is-
and that's what killed it for me. Like, I know it was supposed to be, but at the same time,
Right,
it's like,
but she was never Scarlet
seriously?
Witch in the MCU. She
Yes.
was never. I mean, everyone knew she was Scarlet
Yeah.
Witch.
Owen Wilson was never in the MCU, and here he is now. I mean, that's good enough for me right there.
That's something we can talk about later because he killed it.
He did.
Mobius was
He
awesome.
did.
But like, just the fact that they were able to bring Wanda and like they showed that she's had the power the whole time. That also in itself opens up so much because her abilities were latent in her. She's had them the whole time. They just didn't go yet.
Right.
Well, not all of them, because she's also learning from the Darkhold at the end.
Well,
so
that's
she's going to get even more powerful than what she was at the
and
end
she's
of
gonna
the
get
series.
corrupted, but we won't talk about it.
Oh well, no, yeah, she's already a little crazy. So, but they also rewrote the ending of WandaVision, the final
Yeah.
cut scene, so you can see like Doctor Strange or Vision. You don't know because it's just a shadow floating down to her. So we have no clue what that is. But I think that was amazing. But also, I'm impartial to Wanda.
Poor Doctor Strange has so much to fix.
Yeah.
He just wanted to get his hands
Did you go like, what the fuck did you guys do?
All did you get for texting and driving, man? Tell your kids.
Dude, I went back and watched Doctor Strange, and he is such an asshole.
He
Like,
is.
I was like, yeah, Tony Stark was an asshole at first, but like Doctor Strange is the asshole. Like, I was like, literally, like, I hope this guy get in a fucking car accident. This guy is horrible. Like, he is not cool. Yeah, fuck this person. Fuck, I'm only gonna help people that I can actually know I can help. Okay, fuck this guy. Like, that's.
Doctor Strange
So
is my
horrible.
second favorite.
He is amazing. he had to
Don't you
swallow.
talk shit about him.
He had to swallow some humble pills for sure in order to get to where he is now.
Yeah.
And he's awesome. I love Doctor Strange.
I love his like very house accent.
Yes.
His house version of American accent that he does. And we've been watching House recently, so I'm glad you brought that
I
up. 'cause
always watch House.
I want I want Hugh Laurie in the MCU, and I want him to somehow be Benedict Cumberbatch's dad. I'm thinking maybe they're a little bit too close in age to make that happen. I'm not really
They
sure.
can make it happen, dude.
But
Variant.
It's like technology.
He can be a
You can
variant.
people now.
variant, we've got time travel. He's got the fucking time stone. Like,
He can
He has
make
to
it
go back
work.
and talk to his
Right.
dad for some reason.
yeah, I want Hugh Laurie to be Benedict.
That would be awesome.
Absolutely.
Going back to all the
Doctor
shows, though, I think
Yeah.
they're hard to compare because they're all focusing on such different
Yeah,
types of
they are.
stories.
That makes
Like
sense.
each genre is
Sure.
different. Like you
Yeah.
have horror, then you had action, and then you have space.
Whatever the hell Loki is.
Space
Time.
opera.
This
Time
was-
travel.
This
I don't
one,
know.
this one just
TVA.
had a bunch of, especially the last episode was like so Doctor Who, and from a guy
Yes,
who hasn't
I
watched.
love
I haven't
Doctor
watched
Who.
that much of Doctor Who, but I was like, this is Doctor Who, right? Like I'm not watching Marvel anymore. I feel like I'm watching Doctor Who.
Yeah.
What's going on? This guy's eating an apple the whole time and
Yeah.
joking around.
Which
Yeah.
is what Doctor Strange did when he was messing with time, was eating
Yeah.
an apple, and now time is opening, and he was, disconnecting.
Weird.
That.
It's yeah, I like it.
One thing that we talked about on our
Oh,
show.
wait. I'm
Oh.
sorry. Are you saying apples give you control of time?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Doctor Strange. Remember, he was practicing on the apple.
Yeah.
he was turning his hand.
I
Yeah,
do remember that. Go
Apple a
ahead.
day keeps Doctor Strange away.
No, dude, in the new What If Doctor Strange is evil? Like in the
Okay.
trailer?
All right.
Oh yeah, that
horrifying.
Funko's come out already. It's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
sweet.
horrifying. I don't want to see that happen.
Oh,
I
that-
don't want to see
I wanna
Doctor
see it.
Strange be evil.
Heck yeah.
I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big I'm a big fan of villains.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm wearing a Thanos shirt right now. He was only wrong by perspective. So
You're the one that sympathizes with him, aren't you?
But the show, one of the things that they did that's like so cool, and what the MC is doing is they're kind of taking all our fan theories and listening to us, and then throwing it away and be like, you guys are not going to get anything right anymore, because it was
Doubt
like
it.
Sylvie, right? So the rumors were there's going to be Lady Loki. Well, it was Lady Loki, but it was also the Enchantress. And like, oh, we thought there was going to be Kang. Well, it was Immortus, but it was also He Who Remains. Those are
Yeah.
two different comic book characters they combined into one.
Yeah.
And they combined their stories into one. Because like you have Immortus, who's sort of an employee of the who are those robots, the timekeepers. But then you have like He Who Remains, he Who Remains is like a TVA employee that just he's the last one that remains.
Yeah.
And then he tries to remake the Timekeeper, so you have that element that was thrown into it. So they sprinkled different elements into it, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. And so it's like, it's hard to predict what's coming next.
They do their research.
Yeah.
MCU do their research.
Yeah, they do. So I think that's really cool because a lot of people now, like my parents being one of them, like they didn't really like Loki because they didn't really understand it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I understood a lot of it. And I'm like, there's a lot going on here that you did not pick up on and like trying to explain it. But like now I think this is the stuff that's going to separate Marvel fans from just casual moviegoers.
Sure.
Like this is like we're heading in that direction.
Now,
I think it's turning just the moviegoers into comic book
Yes.
fans because people want to learn more and be like, well, they changed it a little bit here, but yeah, it's this story so that they can understand the broader picture.
the movies are the only reason that shelf is full of graphic novels. Like,
Yeah.
I had like a couple, but it wasn't any of the Marvel stuff. I had like TMNT and I think some Batmans, but no Marvel stuff.
DC.
I love DC. I'm sorry, but I do love DC.
Why are you so broody?
That's the same for so many people because like think about comics were dying. Marvel was not doing well. That's why they had to sell off so many properties. That's why they had to sell Spider-Man
Right,
to Sony.
right.
Fox got Fantastic Four and Universal got the Hulk.
Not that they should have.
Right.
Should have.
But it was
had
how
the
you
money.
kept
Each
comics
time they
afloat.
had them, they shouldn't.
Yeah.
Until they finally hit a home run with the B team, and now all of a sudden they want those properties back. But like also comics are getting big again. I don't think we'd have a podcast if it wasn't for the MCU for sure. Like I wasn't really reading comics that much. I read a few, but not to this level.
Yeah.
I was a nerd before it was cool. I grew up with
They're
it.
awesome, dude. I played video games that had Spider-Man in them, so like
That's close enough.
it's
Yeah.
I just remember growing up.
PS1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
PS1.
Saturdays, X-Men,
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how I did. Eating little Lucky Charms, like heck
You
yeah.
mean Loki Charms?
Lucky
Lucky
Charms.
Charms.
I'm excited to see X-Men in the MCU because like Feige was a producer like way back on those X-Men cartoons, so he knows X-Men pretty well.
Right.
Yes,
right.
he does.
And he's really particular about making things make sense as far as like continuity.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of X-Men writers
We're not.
so it'll be a whole new X-Men.
Yeah.
That's actually a comic book run too. All new X-Men.
Let's talk about the TVA a little bit. So when you first see Loki, when he gets captured by the TVA, I think we said on our shows, like, this is very much Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
But it goes further than I think what you see in like the Umbrella Academy with I want to call them the timekeepers in that show because that's pretty much what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what did you guys think of like the depiction of the TVA and like their, I guess, bureaucratic nature, you could say? What do you guys think?
I thought it was a sketchy DMV.
All right, fair.
Yeah, they had the long
Yeah.
lines. And
Yeah. Take a ticket. You better take a ticket.
I love how fast Loki was at whipping out his ticket too.
I got it.
I don't know. I like the progression of it. Just from it seemed like it was okay. This is a good thing.
Yeah.
Turns out it's not.
Yeah.
It's not,
But then also turns out it is.
it is kind of a good thing.
Kind of needed.
Like
It's a necessary evil at one point.
As much as we don't like Kang as a villain, like that was probably the best version of Kang we're gonna get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that
like-
was the good
Like,
version.
and he's
yeah.
like, listen, you have it easy now. Like,
You don't want to meet the other me.
yeah, you don't want to meet the other me's. I had to
want
compromise a little bit.
so bad though.
Iron
Yeah.
Lad would be dope.
Another Young Avengers.
Are they going to bring in the Fantastic Four?
Yes.
Do they?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a movie plan. So
I know they're bringing the Fantastic Four in, but are they going to bring it in through a version of Kang? Because
I think it's gonna be Quantumania.
No, we're not going to get it that soon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure.
I think
It's
Doctor
gonna happen.
Doom's castle is hidden in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I think the TVA is in the
yeah, I thought that was Kang's like little city that he had.
Chronopolis.
Chronopolis.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
No, I think
I
they're
think
in the
it's
quantum realm.
Subatomica.
I think they're in the quantum realm.
Yeah.
That's what the TVA,
TVA
is.
is?
Yep.
Yep.
100%. I did that's the connector
Kind
for
of makes sense. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
That's a prediction.
Anyway, back to Loki.
Back to Loki.
I did not trust Miss Minutes from the beginning.
Oh my
and I
gosh.
did not trust Renslayer from the beginning.
Right.
His minutes was terrifying.
What's
But-
Renslayer?
The judge.
The judge.
Yeah.
The main
Ravana.
judge.
Yeah.
Oh, Kang's girlfriend?
One that
Yeah.
used to be a school
Gotcha.
teacher.
Kang's girlfriend in the comics. Kang's girlfriend.
I missed that scene.
Girlfriend. He's
I
obsessed
girlfriend who does not know
Yeah.
who he is.
I still don't understand Miss Minutes as a character. Is she an AI or is she made by Kang?
Yes.
Like yes, to all those questions. It's so confusing.
It's
say
whatever
that-
you
they say
want.
that-
Am I watching Space Jam right now? Like what's going on?
She's definitely a clock. I can go with that. She's
yeah.
a clock.
I don't even know if she tells time, though. So is she?
Is she a
She
clock?
tells
She tells
all
Kang.
time.
Yeah, she tells Kang's time
Oh, nice.
because she like has to keep
Touche.
that in
I
line.
wonder what happens to Miss Minutes after that whole timeline disruption. Though.
Miss
I mean, no, I guess we don't really know because Loki came back and it was all different.
Everything.
Well,
Who the hell are you?
Well, there have been resets in the past because the timeline has to restart. So
Yeah.
the TVA has been wiped. So I think all the variants have had their minds wiped, and I think that's what happened because it just opened. So it's like TVA is restarting. We have to get this under control. So they wiped everyone's minds, and that's why Mobius didn't recognize Loki.
Can we just get Mobius a jet ski? Like, that's
so.
really all that
You know what
matters.
I like to say about the MCU and like as far as all the other movies, anything that doesn't contradict is headcanon. So any movie where Owen Wilson is on a jet ski is now headcanon to me for the MCU.
yeah.
I gotta
It makes
find one.
sense.
It's gonna be like some rom-com. He's gonna ride a jet ski and I'm gonna be like, there it is.
Literally, Mobius was picked from the end of Wedding Crashers in that car. That's when the TVA got him. That's exactly when he came there.
All right. I'll take that. So Wedding Crashers is MCU canon.
Yes.
Gotta be.
Correct.
All right.
Who is Vince
heard it here
Vaughn?
first, folks.
Who
What
is
is it?
Vince Vaughn gonna
We're
play?
MCU canon at this point.
I already know Vince Vaughn's going to be a character eventually. He has to be.
Yeah.
An extra, like Sylvester Stallone was in Guardians 2. I was like, well, hello.
Yeah.
Sylvester.
Wait a minute.
Nice to see you there. Like,
Right.
I wonder, there is a chance to like bring back the sacred timeline. Is that what they call it? The sacred timeline?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's a theme with Kang is like he's always trying to conquer, and then other versions of himself are often fighting against himself because he realizes he messes the timeline up. So then he tries to fix it later with another version of himself. And so like we had He Who Remains, we could later have Immortus again working for the TVA trying to correct the timeline. So maybe this is just like a temporary thing where they're going to blow up the multiverse, hopefully bring in Miles Morales and Spider-Gwen and then close it back up.
You just because you really just want them in the MCU. That's it.
I thought it was interesting with He Who Remains talking about like, no, you don't understand. I've done this every single way. And it reminded me of in Endgame where Doctor Strange has the time stone. And he's like, I've done this 30 million, whatever the fuck he says. Like I've seen this is the only way this works. is if we do it like this.
14,600,050, I don't know.
something crazy.
It is 14 million. I
I know
that.
there's a 6 and a
It's like
5.
yeah, it's like 14,560 something.
Oh, Marvel
As the
expert.
expert.
So the TVA is not in the timeline. That exists separately from
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time
the
works
sacred
differently
timeline.
here.
Right.
Be- because they're in the quantum realm
Just
where
another-
time is
And
different.
so-
You like that?
When you
Yeah,
see-
exactly.
See,
When you-
that's headcanon for you guys now. I
you
think
see-
I'm going to believe her too.
When you see the castle, He Who Remains is castle, and it's got the spinny part that's, I am assuming that's the sacred timeline spinning around the castle?
Well, you see it split.
Ooh.
You see it split in the background.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Like you can
So
literally
that's, like, it's-
visually
it's
see the
starting to
timeline
split.
splitting.
So, like, how does where is the TVA in location to that castle?
Yeah. I don't think we should get too into that.
It'll probably get explained next season.
It
Maybe.
exists
Yeah,
in the
because-
fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is time.
Yeah.
So
That
it's just in time?
It's
Just
it
in
is
time.
time.
It's unmeasurable.
It's time
Immeasurable.
itself.
Immeasurable.
Unimmeasurable.
Unimmeasurable. Could definitely be measured.
The way I look at it is that was the end of time, but at the end, at the end,
Yes.
Okay.
the end, there's always a beginning after an end.
Ooh.
Look at
So
you.
literally, that's where no, but
And-
that's what I
but
like that
that's
circle
what
theory.
they said, though.
Don't
It was,
preach
this
your
is the
religion
end
to
of
me.
time. Like he is at the end of time, and he controls all time at the end of time
For all time.
for all time.
Right.
Gosh, dude.
When Immortus worked for the TVA, he was only given a certain time, like 5,000 BC to 5000 AD.
Yeah.
And like, so there was a bunch of people in his same position that had different spots in the timeline. So like, maybe it's not. Maybe that's just all he knows.
Yeah.
And maybe there's so much. I don't know.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Maybe this is all he knows, but I don't know.
But it makes me wonder if,
I don't know where I was going with that thought. I was just like, yeah, well,
if the timeline gets restored, which I'm assuming eventually it will.
I think
would
it
be,
has to.
Yeah, I think it has to. But who is going to? Who thinks is going to be the one that's going to bring it back? Is it going to be another version of Kang? Is it going to be Loki?
I think
it's
Doctor
gonna be Wanda.
Strange
It's gonna be Doctor Strange,
sacrifices
yeah.
himself, and that's how we get the restoration of the
I
timeline.
hope not.
Is that a prediction? Because I
die.
can.
I think it's got to be Kang.
Oh, what mine
Okay.
is?
I want it to be Wanda.
That would be cool. No, mine.
that's the end
no,
answer. It has to be Kang.
No.
I don't want.
No. You suck.
I don't want her to I don't want her to sacrifice herself, but I think she's gonna pick what she wants from other timelines, her kids and her husband, and then close the timelines and be like, "This is it. This is what I want. This is what everyone else gets."
And Gwen.
Me and you are 100% on that. I personally think that all the multiverses will be destroyed except for the
One that Wanda
sacred,
wants.
which you will bring everything that you want in from all of the other movies.
Yeah.
Bring
X-Men,
what you want to make
Deadpool.
Then say,
canon.
fuck your
and then
timelines, you're
say,
mine now, bitch.
Fuck you, Fox. Fuck you, Sony. This is the MCU.
Bring in
now.
Venom in too. Fuck
But
it.
how do you say "fuck you, Sony"? I mean, obviously,
You have
What do you
Deadpool
mean? How do you
narrated.
say it?
Hey, money,
been saying
money's
it.
money. Sony will hold out as long as they can. Disney will be
Force
like,
Ghost.
I'm going to give you $30 billion for Spider-Man. And then Sony's going to be like, okay.
I don't know. I don't think they'll ever sell it, man. That's Marvel's biggest character.
does Disney buy Sony?
Oh,
we
man.
actually talked about this on a previous
Yeah.
episode. Like, will they
monopoly.
get to the point where they have to fork out like buying Fox? Do they have to buy Sony Pictures to get the character?
I don't want my
No.
Sony TV saying Disney TV.
No, I don't think they will. Like,
No,
like
yeah,
they
this would be a
separated
company.
The TV stuff or the Fox News stuff
yeah.
from Fox. Like,
Yeah, gotcha.
Disney doesn't own that. So you could
think they want to.
spin
I was
off
gonna say it's probably good for them.
like PlayStation. You can spin off PlayStation as like all Sony Electronics stays as its own thing, but you buy Sony Pictures.
Here's what they could do, because you have No Way Home coming up, right? So his identity's been blown.
Which they still have not dropped a trailer for.
I know. I thought it was coming this weekend with the Comic-Con, but nope.
Movie comes out in December.
So you
No
can
trailer.
you can have Doctor Strange opens up multiverse or whoever. Tom Holland goes into some other multiverse, right? Where you have Morbius and you have Venom and you have Carnage, you have all these other Sony projects. Tom Holland joins them. Disney takes Miles Morales and Gwen and other versions of Spider-Man. Now they can both make Spider-Man simultaneously. Maybe they negotiate something like that.
I want Tom Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland's the best
I
Spider-Man.
want him to stay in our
We don't know yet. We haven't
I
seen the other
I
Spider-Man.
would take a Spider-Gwen. She's one of my favorite.
I'll take
characters.
Miles. I love Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Depends
But
on who plays him, too.
I like Tom Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland's
Can
my
Tom
favorite.
Holland just play Miles Morales too?
Absolutely not.
No.
It's Tom Holland in a wig, Tom Holland in another wig. Just like every version. Spider-Ham, Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Spider-Ham.
I'm okay with that.
No, who's the guy from Saturday Night Live that did Spider-Ham in the cartoon? He's got to keep doing it.
John Mulaney.
Yeah,
Yes,
totally.
that was excellent.
The variants of He Who Remains in his castle, there's big like statues of things. There's 3 of them, and then there's one that's knocked over.
Right.
There's a fan theory that the one that's knocked over is actually him or another version of him, and each of the 3 that are standing up are timekeepers, but they're all versions of him, but he killed them all off after they got mad at him and broke his statue. and then he killed them, and he's like, I'm in charge now. But
I'm the captain.
but I want to know who the statues were, because
Yeah.
there's just
Beta Ray.
I'm also curious that if they decide that, I mean, which they will, introduce other characters, like say villains, and we're like, oh, who's this villain? And it ends up being a variant of Kang, not even the same actor.
Yeah.
Like I think we're gonna be seeing quite a bit of that, maybe in the next few movies. Like I mean, even before maybe before Ant-Man, maybe in what's coming out before Ant-Man? No Way Home, right?
Yep.
No Way Home.
No Way Home, maybe even No Way
Multiverse
Home.
of
We might.
Madness.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
it's multiverse.
both
Like
of those.
Scarlet
Maybe we'll see a
Centurion.
version of Kang that's not necessarily
No
that
Way Home.
Kang. So
You got a Fantastic Four and Ramatut.
yeah, exactly. Ramatut.
I think that'd be interesting to see. I want to know from Sylvie, her Nexus event. I still am unclear about what that actually was. And I also want to know why she wants to be completely separated from being called Loki?
That's a good question.
Maybe that's season
Because when
two.
they met,
I don't know if that was her name though. Was her name originally Loki?
Yeah.
Yes,
for
She
sure.
was Loki.
because when they met at Roxxon, which is also brought in from the comics. Anyway, he was like, well, I know that you're me. You're a Loki. And she was like, don't call me that. I was like, that's your name. What do you mean? Of course he's going to call you Loki. It's who you are. But then she like completely separates herself from that, which I don't understand because she was brought up knowing she was adopted, like being kind of loved by Odin. So like she was actually viewed on the same plane as Thor. So why is she so upset about being a Loki?
Maybe your two questions are tied. Like the reason she changed her name, maybe her Nexus event. I bet we find out in season 2 though. I'm
Well-
really excited about that.
We kind of have to remember that Loki was supposed to be one season, and this was technically a mid-season finale, not a whole season finale, because they weren't originally going to split it into 2 seasons. It was supposed to be one.
Oh, really?
COVID.
What?
Yep.
God damn
For real?
Yeah.
I got
Damn it, Kevin.
Shit. So they're still coming out with everything else. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what's going to happen with this whole timeline stuff.
So when does the other
like, when-
half of it come out?
yeah.
After Multiverse
And
of Madness,
and is
where
that when
Loki-
they figure out how to do the
It better
timeline
be
stuff?
before
Like,
then.
No, Loki's going to be in Multiverse of Madness.
I know.
So I'm assuming
I think
that's when
everybody's
it's
going
going
to
to
be.
be.
In, I think
yeah,
that's the
everybody
team-up
should be
movie.
in it.
I don't know if that'll be a team up.
It's like the end of
Isn't it
Phase
suppo-
4. Everyone's got to be there.
Isn't it supposed to be the first like horror movie from Marvel?
Multiverse.
WandaVision
Yes.
was a horror movie. Kind
I wouldn't call it. It was.
It was a sitcom.
It was a.
There was some dark. There were some
It was a-
dark.
that one
aspects to
episode where,
WandaVision,
where
though.
she's hanging
It was
up
like
the clothes
Teen
on, the
Wolf.
tears coming down her eye.
Dude, the part where they're burning
was
her
horror.
alive, like the witch part, like that. Oh, dude, that's pretty intense. Like
It was Agatha all
It was
along.
okay. It was mild horror.
it was mouth horror, but for children, for the children,
the
it was pretty horrific.
the quick flashes to Dead Vision and Pietro.
Oh, yeah.
I actually
Oh yeah,
jumped.
yeah.
And then in Loki, when what's Miss Minutes pops up, that was so uncalled for. I did not need to be jump scared that early in the morning. It was unreasonable.
Minutes.
I was so mad. Hiya! No, no.
Baya.
B-15, learning that she was a variant.
She was a great.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
whole thing.
She completely switched. She was like, "No, something's up here. We need to fix this."
And same thing when Mobius learns about the variant stuff, which
That was kind of heartbreaking. It's
Yeah.
like,
It was.
maybe I had a jet ski. And I was like, you probably did.
poor man. You probably
I was not expecting the pokey stick thing.
Yeah, no.
I did not think, like, I thought they were friends. Like, I thought she was going to be conflicted. I thought she was going to turn on the other TVA agents. Like, that's why she pulled out. She was going to be, but no.
She wanted to go after Loki.
I love that we're continuing your guys' podcast here by using the pokey stick thingy.
Is that what I said?
Yeah,
You 100% said that.
What is it
canon
even
now.
called? It's called pruner. Like a
Pruner. According to it's the pokey stick thingy.
yeah.
I don't listen to my podcast, so like, apparently it's stuck in my head. It's like, that's what it's called.
Yeah, you mispronounce a lot in the podcast. It's great. Mjolnir.
Majolner.
You're the one saying
Jonathan.
infinite.
I've never said.
You've never said the word infinite right.
Hey,
Don't tell
hey.
me I mispronounced
Hey,
stuff.
hey. I said I literally said I have an associate's, not a bachelor's.
Not quite there. Not that guy, pal. Trust
Not
me.
that guy.
Back to
Ryan.
Sylvia, I didn't really like her.
What?
Really?
Yeah. I liked her until I didn't.
I like
I
the
bet
time
you can guess exactly where I stopped liking her.
when she stabbed Loki.
The blanket.
Stabbed him.
The blanket.
Or, wait, I mean, she stabbed he who. Never mind.
No, I was upset about that. No, when they kissed, I was like,
Oh,
there
yeah.
she goes.
I love
right to the bottom of the pile.
So good. Like that's
No.
the biggest narcissistic thing.
Yes.
I agree. I agree.
I love that Mobius calls it out.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's
really,
because
man?
Mobius, because he's jealous.
Do you think Owen Wilson would, if he saw himself?
There was not a single wow in the whole series.
Yeah, I know. There was I think it was another OW ending to a word.
The fact that was even brought up before in memes was like, it's confirmed that Owen Wilson does
Does
not
not.
say wow in Loki. I was like, man, that's upsetting.
That was
He's going to in season 2 if he comes back, though, which he has to.
I think he has.
He's coming back.
He's
I hope he gets his memory
like,
back.
have Loki tell him what happened, and him just look at Loki like, wow,
Wow, there's like so many variants.
That wasn't bad.
Did you guys
Not bad.
Did you guys notice that his hair was different at the end? too?
Yeah.
That upset me more. Like, really? You're gonna make him older? Like, why? He's already old.
I love that he's the one that picked up Sylvie in the car, though. Like, he just happened to be there.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, what the heck?
Where'd you
And I
come
was like,
from?
who the heck is this person picking him up in the car? It happened to be Mobius. I'm like, what?
How did a
they had to
car?
bring it back.
How did a car
Almost said
ruin the
Morbius.
timeline? That's what I want to know.
We
Oh
need to
boy,
pull this car.
you did not park in front of that fire
It's
hydrant.
like a
The delivery
Ghostbusters
was
car.
guaranteed in 15 minutes, and he was here in 14, 16,
No, it's,
whatever.
It's car Loki.
Yeah, how do they prune a car? They just walk up on the street and just like look around and go,
Do they prune each individual item, or do they prune the whole timeline? Because they reset.
They probably
timelines,
prune the
so-
whole
They use
timeline.
those like prune bombs, so that's probably
Yeah.
how they
Yeah,
got in
yeah,
there. But it was
resets
more
the
fun to
timeline.
think about it with the Pokemon.
Like trying to get a better like spot for a movie, and then, I need this one car.
Did you guys notice Thor?
Yeah,
Frog Thor. Frog Thor.
You know that was Chris Hemsworth's actual
Yeah.
acting
Yeah, it
there.
was.
Too? That's so cool.
Fantastic.
There was a scene that they ended up cutting out where Chris Hemsworth was actually interacting with Loki, and I was like, what was it? Like, it was Chris Hemsworth's Thor
Yeah.
with the variant Loki, and I was like,
Why would you
can we
cut that?
can we see that, please? Maybe they couldn't pay.
I think they may have been like, we want to do a Loki story without Thor.
No, I'm pretty upset
Like, hey.
that Loki didn't get to see Fat Thor. Like that would
that's
that's
true.
a confidence booster.
He's like, damn, I am better off.
I want to know how Kid Loki killed Thor.
I think it was when they were 9.
When-
because remember he talked about he
turned into a
faked him,
snake.
turned into a snake, and then he stabbed
And
him.
I fought him, and I was
Yeah.
like, ha!
So that's probably when Kid Loki actually killed him. Like that.
Yeah.
That's very.
that was
the other
that was
direction.
like obviously a very big thing. Or when Loki turns Thor into a frog, that was a big thing because in Ragnarok when they're doing the play, he's like, "I'm sorry, I turned you into a frog that one time." He's like, "I was hilarious. It's okay." No, you got pruned for it. Yeah, I think it was hilarious.
Yeah, the frog got pruned.
With the hammer, with Mjolnir. It was reaching,
Yeah,
which
it
I don't
was
know why.
such-
Why
yeah.
did he call it to?
Well, I think it was not his hammer because it was like huge.
But
It's Frog.
But-
If it's Frog Thor, I think he has a frog-sized hammer.
To be worthy.
I mean, literally in the comic, Frog Thor turns into a 6-foot Thor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with Mjolnir and
that
battle
would-
armor
that would
on.
be terrifying. I'm
That's-
so
yeah.
scared of
Hey.
frogs. I'm terrified of frogs. I would
My brother
simply
is too.
pass out.
He throws the hammer, but gets you in the face with a tongue. Like,
Didn't see that one coming, did you?
Yeah, he throws a hammer. Miss me. What?
they already made a Toad character. He's an X-Men.
So are we going to see Kangaroo the Conqueror?
We should do an animal spin-off of the
Infamous
multiverse.
rival of Spider-Ham?
Yes.
I hope so.
Yes,
We have had this conversation at work.
We got the
So many
alligator
times.
Loki, so
I still think Croaky is way better. Well, that would work for a frog,
Croaky.
though.
There you go. Okay.
Croaky.
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 A variant of Loki Croaky.
Wolverine doesn't even need to change his name. He can just be there as Wolverine. I
As
guess he could be
a
crossed with
literal
Wolverine DNA.
I would love if
Like
like the
that.
X-Men just showed up with no explanation as to how.
That would be
It's just like
hilarious.
it's just like Hugh
No,
Jackman.
no. What we need is so. Think of the which was it? X-Men 3 was like the one that was like the worst,
It's
right?
bad.
So all of those characters were just in that world. Where everything was pruned. Like, this is where all the bad things go. They're all here.
No, just literally bring the X-Men in and then have Deadpool just be like, it is what it is.
It is what it
He'll
is.
just be like,
Moves on.
Disney
No
bought Fox.
explanation. Yeah, straight up.
I just want to see it when they censor one of Deadpool's cuss words and he's just like,
What was
what?
that?
What? And then, what was that?
Gosh.
Yeah.
I think that He Who Remains was right when he was yelling at Sylvie to grow up at the end.
Yeah.
When he was like
Yeah.
going on a tangent, he's like, grow up. I was like, yep, yeah, he's my favorite. I agree with him. I'm on his side. Yeah, you're right.
So
He
you would have
should
made
grow
a
up.
different decision than Sylvie?
Yes.
Nope. She did the most Loki thing and stabbed him.
I mean, you're right. You're definitely right.
She did. The main Loki variant, he, grew up. He did. He became a better person for her,
know.
and then she stabbed the one thing that's keeping them together. So, as a Loki move, and I loved it.
Do you trust King when he said, I could just give you guys a life? Or,
I think he was lying the whole time.
you guys can be together.
No, I think
Blah,
it was
blah, blah.
lying.
You think?
No, I don't think that was real at all.
Really?
Like, I don't.
His whole thing is
How would
control,
that
like
even
Loki's.
work?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
At the end of time,
how would that even
guys-
be possible?
you guys can hang out, have a family, have a little weird,
Ew.
have your weird family from yourself. Technically, be cloning.
Every time they have kids, they're pruned.
Yeah.
Did you clean up your room? No. Bam.
I mean, like you said, though, it's the end of time technically, so it could go wherever you want it to go.
If you line up the
Hasn't been written yet.
finales of WandaVision and Loki,
Yeah.
Okay.
when his script ends, he's like, that's it. I don't know where it goes from here, but he feels the multiverse breaking apart is the moment Wanda
Become Scarlet Witch.
is harnessing
Fuck
her
off.
full
I
power.
swear-
No, to the second.
To the
Pull it up.
second.
People have
the
lined
YouTubes.
up
Hit the YouTube. You got to see it. It's nuts.
Go to the YouTube,
Insane.
Malcolm.
Some YouTube.
Get us some
it's
video.
like
Loki,
the moment she's
WandaVision merge.
absorbing all
There
of
you
her
go. That's
power.
a good thing to search. Wow.
Wait, you're
Good words.
searching.
Good words.
I got you guys.
You're better skills
He's
on
got a
point.
bachelor's in Google.
Except for Malcolm put Wananda.
It's fine.
Look at WandaVision and Loki sync. Fourth one down.
Yeah, the fourth one down. Sync would have been a better word. I said merge. But that's
I
The
thought merge was-
multiverse
okay.
are merging.
Yeah, the multiverse is right there.
Oh,
no,
okay.
don't watch the whole thing.
It's 12 minutes.
Oh, watch the one that's 2 minutes.
Yeah,
There
there
you
you
go.
go. The short one right
Okay,
there.
let's
that's
give
so
credit.
perfectly.
Let's give credit to somebody here. This is
Jazz.
from Jazz Foo.
Jazz Foo.
Two
You like
different words
jazz?
on YouTube.
If
Yeah,
we find it on
guys.
TikTok, it's only going to be a minute.
Okay,
You
well,
can
we
skip through it.
can't pull up TikTok on here.
Oh.
Give us full screen. Give us a screen, Malcolm.
Oh, man.
There we are. Okay.
Here we go.
So we've got the lining up here for the audio listeners. We're at 26:17 right now. Although I think the seconds might be a little bit off.
Guys, look at those
Yeah.
runes. This is why
off by a
WandaVision's
second.
better.
there were ruins
All right.
all over the TVA,
WandaVision's pretty.
by the way.
Yeah, no magic.
Yeah. But did King put them there?
Wanda.
It was in the TVA.
I want to watch that scene again with King.
Yeah, why are the
Yeah.
seconds off?
No, because one happens 1 second.
Okay, so it doesn't
you'll-
line up.
No, it does line up.
Hold on. You'll
This
see.
guy that you just plugged did a bad job.
Yeah. It really does, because you'll see
I
it.
saw
right
it
when
on
comes up.
Facebook. I don't know where it was from.
I mean, it's
Well,
close enough.
And it's on the internet. It has to be true.
It's like it's the moment they start breaking apart, because Wanda has never taken her full power like that before. And when it happens, he's like, "Oh, something different is happening."
he says basically when he goes right now, no, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds ago, like
Yeah,
that's
just
what he's referring
that-
to.
So right now she is absorbing Agatha's powers.
Yeah. And her power back from Agatha.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Poor Agatha.
And we've got
Look at his face. He's like,
We've
Look
got
at his
Kang.
face, and he turns sideways.
Kang's
And
looking around. He's like, "Oh shit."
Something.
Oh, shit.
Something's happening. He even looks up. Like King
Wow.
feeling it.
This is super cool.
wow.
Who? Yeah,
He's like, oh crap.
it just changed.
Yeah.
the smile.
Oh
so
my
The
good.
smirk is fantastic.
And then he's like, everything's changing. Like literally
Yeah.
right after that.
He's like, now
He's basically like,
So-
I don't know what happens after this moment.
Okay.
So that's why he's given up, because he probably has not seen this moment,
Yep.
or it's
Right.
his demise.
Right.
And then the post-credit scene when she hears her children, that's probably become the multiverse
Yeah.
splitting.
Yeah.
So, do you think that?
So these technically happened at the same time.
Thank
Yeah.
you. That was my question.
Yeah.
It did. It did
If-
actually. No,
if
it's
you look
canon.
on Disney Plus, Loki, in the timeline order, Loki comes before WandaVision.
Yeah,
So it's like happening at the
it
same
coincides together.
Yeah.
It's already been said that they do. It matches. It's perfect, and I think they're just proving how.
How far ahead they plan?
Yeah. Oh,
And then Kevin Feige's continuity.
Kevin Feige already said he's got movies planned out to 2040.
Fuck off.
Bro,
No way.
Yeah, he's got this whole thing ready to go. We are just literally like
In
when he
case he
said
dies, is that what you're saying? Like,
when he said that the Infinity Saga was just the beginning, and that was 23 films.
Yeah.
Just the beginning. Like
and
how you
zero
gonna have
shows
and like
zero shows?
But he already said like Thanos is gonna be by the end of what he has planned. Thanos is gonna be just a small villain,
And he is already.
Yeah.
He already is.
Yeah.
Seeing Kang, like, oh my gosh. Like, yeah,
I-
Thanos
Thanos,
is already.
that guy.
This is once we get to the prediction part like that. I got so many that involve Thanos. He ain't gone.
No, I think we're gonna see Thanos.
Josh Brolin signed for 8 movies with the MCU.
He's gonna be on. He's gonna be a good.
That doesn't
guy.
mean he's going to
He's
do
gonna be a good
all
guy,
8,
pal.
though.
Who cares?
Yeah.
He's got
Well,
8.
I mean,
He's got to do it. almost.
technically, I mean, Deadpool's MCU now too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, with
He
He
will
did a
be in Deadpool
commercial.
3, yeah.
He did
will
a
be.
commercial with Korg.
Yeah, he did.
So
He
he's
did.
already
It was-
interacting with the
It was
character.
a reaction. It was a reaction in Free Guy.
Guy.
It
Free
wasn't
Guy.
even
His new
Marvel.
movie.
Which,
I would-
by the way, can't wait to watch that movie, dude. That's gonna be
It's gonna be
great.
great.
But yeah, there's a lot. I don't think Thanos is gone, and I think they're gonna need Thanos to beat Kang.
Yeah.
Oh,
Aren't the Eternals are coming? Isn't
Yeah.
Thanos like a distant cousin?
He's a deviant.
He got a virus that made him bad.
So he was the good
He was
guy
an
in
Eternal,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole deep.
I got
that why
I got
he's-
a book on it.
is that why he's
right
purple?
Yes, he's actually different from his own species, and he was actually made fun of. He's a dwarf on his own planet.
Yeah.
and he was made fun of. So he's like, "How can I make everybody respect me?
I have a
I'm gonna
Thanos
kill everybody."
I'm not kidding. I have this story of Thanos. He's purple, which
I
is an
read
omen
one of them.
He's an omen of death on his planet because
Yeah.
purple means death.
Yep.
From there.
And that's why he's obsessed with
All
death.
of the bad guys in the MCU for Phase 4 have been purple so far.
wow.
Oh my god!
Agatha, Kang,
Yep.
and Baron Zemo was purple. And
Yeah.
Is Zemo like an anti-hero now?
No,
like
he's
anti-villain, I
he's gonna
guess.
be super bad. He's gonna be real bad.
Yeah, but he like helped in
Right, but
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
but
I'm
you
not saying he won't get bad, but right now he's like an anti-hero.
so like him without the mask on. If you notice in the show when he put that mask on, he went
He's
crazy.
a different character. He's a
So
different
it's
person.
he becomes a Zemo.
It's like Bruce Wayne and Batman. It's-
Are they the same?
They're the
Never
same.
figured that out.
Is that the same guy?
yeah.
What?
I always thought
Spoilers.
Clark Kent's disguise was pretty good.
Yeah.
As far as disguises go.
Yeah.
I did actually witness at a movie theater a kid go, "Wait, Bruce Wayne is Batman." And it was just everybody's like, "What? Did we just realize that?"
You got to witness that.
That was a sad moment because I don't like DC.
In humanity.
I just don't like DC.
I used to. When the Marvel movies were Howard the Duck.
True. I watch a lot of the DC animated movies.
how
I don't
can you-
watch the.
Mask of the Phantasm. That's
Yes.
like
Yeah.
that's
Dude,
holds
I was
up.
talking about that the other day.
How can you not like Howard the Duck? There is female
so
duck
bad.
titties in it. That's the
that
best
movie
part.
is-
Hey, Howard the Duck is in Marvel now,
It's
so we're fine.
It's the reason that Marvel movies stopped for what 20 years. Like Howard the Duck bombs. There was supposed to be a Black Widow film, but then Howard the Duck did so bad they just canceled it.
Jesus.
Such a poser.
Howard
You're
the
a
Duck.
total poser.
I like that they brought him back. though.
That was good.
Good.
Such
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to bring up before we move into like real full steam into predictions? Do we still want to do that portion?
I'm always down for predictions. I have a
Okay.
good time
trying
with
to think
those.
if there's
We keep going that way anyway.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
Loki was great, but like we're just so excited for the things that Loki
Yeah.
set up
The way-
rather than
Yeah.
the show that happened.
The way that it builds
Yeah.
into the overall MCU, I think, is the most interesting part
Yeah.
about it. I loved it as a show,
Yep.
and I think it works better than WandaVision as a standalone. Personally,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I've heard it explained, but it kind of makes sense, but it still doesn't make sense to me how the Avengers were supposed to do what they did, but Loki wasn't. Because if Loki, I know the explanation, but if Loki didn't pick up the Tesseract, then Tony and Steve would not have had to go back to get more Pym particles. But when Steve, I can explain it after, but it still doesn't make much sense
Sure.
to me. Because when Steve goes back to put the stones back, he puts them back where he got them from, but that doesn't stop Loki from picking up the Tesseract, so that still does make him a variant. But it still doesn't make sense to me how they were able to go back and put the stones back, because they're still leaving their spot in the timeline and still entering in a spot where they already are alive.
To Kang, it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
That was
Kang
Kang.
planned
Kang's like,
No,
this
but
has to happen this way,
Kang's an
otherwise.
idiot, and I don't get it.
So the whole thing is Kang expected both the Lokis to go to him and take over. Because that's what Lokis do. They want to control.
Glorious purpose.
That didn't happen. They didn't want control. They just
No,
wanted
no,
revenge.
Yeah.
Sylvie wanted revenge.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, but that's why she tricked him because she knew it wasn't going to happen. Like literally, she swings her sword and just hits Loki, and nothing happens to him.
Yeah.
Which I find that's funny that he can take a sword hit, but he who remains, who can't.
Well, I think
Kang
She's
doesn't
just
have
like,
any powers.
True, he's just highly technological. He's smart.
I think Variant
he's got a
Loki-
bachelor's.
I think Variant Loki, like, I don't think he even wanted control at the end talking to Kang. Like, I don't think.
no, he did.
Like, he didn't.
wasn't
He's like, I don't want to
interested.
team up with you. I'm not interested in teaming up with you. I'm interested in keeping things the way they are.
He was scared.
Like, he was, yeah, and
He
he's
wanted
scared.
his girlfriend.
He wanted his girlfriend, and he wanted. He actually cared about Mobius.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that was something
Yeah.
we genuinely saw. Like that hug, I was like, oh wow, you actually have a friend. Like, that's true though. Like he literally said, you
With
don't
the-
have any friends.
With the
Like,
dagger in frame. Love is
Yeah.
a dagger.
yep.
As he's hugging Mobius.
I think
Yeah.
Loki wanted to go be back inserted into the timeline where he won in New York and him and Sylvie could be together. He wanted like his happy ending because when
He wanted to be God King.
he said, yeah, I can make it so that you beat the Avengers in New York. And I feel like there was a little spark.
Oh yeah,
he's
that
like,
did happen.
yeah, that sounds good.
It did happen.
I don't know, but there's so much with Loki because also earlier in the show when he sees that him and Thor become closer, the smile on his face just from that, and that's still that's the Loki from New York.
Tom
out
Hiddleston's
there.
acting in that was amazing.
Yeah, he was great.
Throughout
Yeah.
that whole scene.
Everybody,
whole-
that whole
Yeah.
acting as a whole was
Yeah.
fantastic.
The one other thing I want to bring up before we get into predictions is when Loki asked if they've ever seen a female variant of themselves. I'm like, no, that sounds terrifying. I think it kind of contradicts them making Loki gender fluid. Like Loki knows he's gender fluid or that they are gender fluid. None of them have ever thought, even though they're all gender fluid, they've never thought that there's a female version of themselves somewhere, even though they've seen all these variations.
And
of
they
themselves.
They just didn't
They
have the
can-
balls to do it. Like I guess in the MCU, he's not gender fluid.
He is.
Now he is.
Well,
He always has been. Now
Right,
Loki,
right, right, right.
Our Loki has
yeah.
been.
Yes. yes.
MCU?
Yes.
Loki?
Yeah, he can
When,
shapeshift.
when he
Like,
gets when he gets to the TVA gender, it says fluid
Yeah.
on his little sheet
Oh, I
thing.
did not see
Yeah.
that.
But also Loki in Norse mythology is gender
Right,
fluid.
I knew
Loki
all
always
that,
is.
and in the comic books and everything like that. When I knew that they were doing Lady Loki, I assumed it was going to be like someone who looks like Tom Hiddleston, but it wasn't.
I always thought
Yeah,
that they
I
played
agree.
into the shape shifting
Mm-hmm.
aspect of that and why he was gender fluid is because he could be who he wants, when he wants,
Mm-hmm.
at any time he wants.
No, it's different because like Mystique is a shapeshifter and she's not gender fluid.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if you found
She's a-
out
technically
Mystique,
she's a mutation though.
what's that?
From a
Yeah.
no, I guess that doesn't make sense.
She's a
Never
mutant.
mind.
you would still like if she
Avoid what I said.
if she was, I don't know, Thaddeus
Avoid
what I
Ross,
said.
and you found out that Mystique was disguised as Thaddeus Ross, you'd be like, oh no, it's her. You wouldn't say
That's true.
it's
That's
him.
a good point.
But if it was, on the other hand, Loki being gender fluid, like comic books and everything like that, when Loki is her, Loki's her. When Loki is him,
Yeah.
Loki is him.
yeah, because even Odin doesn't
Yeah.
refer
Yeah.
to Loki as a him.
Well, he says,
or
I
her.
have 3 children, one that's a man, one that's a woman. He's referring to Angela, the
Yep.
MCU screw that too, and one who's both.
But
That was a beautiful moment in comic books.
I think in the show they just kind of belittled it by all the other Lokis being like, no, that sounds terrifying. Like they've never thought of a woman version of themselves. You're gender fluid. How
Right.
have you not thought of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, get
that's a
this
good
woman a
point.
soapbox. Like this message needs to be heard. MCU, you crapped out on us.
They did the same thing with kind of with his sexuality, like him being confirmed bisexual and then making him fall in love with a female version of himself instead of
That's so
Another male
narcissistic. I
yeah,
love
instead of a
it.
male version of himself would have
Yeah.
made a little bit more sense for that. But
Right.
they at least said it. So congratulations.
When they threw that in there, I was like, not that I was like, I thought they were using it as like, oh, like a throw off line, but I didn't realize it was important to Tom Hiddleston to have that in there because he is bisexual. And I thought that was actually a really cool part of his character to throw that in there. And he kind of fought for that to be there.
You got a point though. Like, how come when he saw all the other Lokis in the room, he didn't like, oh, hey,
Yeah.
you know, why wasn't he into boastful Loki
Exactly.
and Sylvie
alligator
and
Loki?
alligator
What?
Loki, all of them?
Whoa, where are we going now? I heard fluid, not.
A Loke orgy?
Yeah.
He's a fighter.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because that's totally like Disney. When President Loki showed up, there was just supposed to be a big orgy, but they cut that out.
That's the deleted scene.
It's a deleted scene.
I'll get off my soapbox
In
now, but
2040, Kevin Feige will finally release it. By the way, this happened.
All the memes that came out, like episode 1, it was like constantly all the Facebook groups and everything was all about Loki fucked a horse. Loki fucked a horse. Loki became a horse and fucked a horse.
No, Loki was the female.
Oh,
Loki was
Loki
the
got
female
fucked by
in
a
that
horse.
one.
And that's like all the memes were for like 3 days. I'm like, I get it. Like,
But that is that's kind of MCU canon because the horse that he had intercourse with is Odin's horse that he was riding in the first Thor movie.
Yep.
So that horse is in
And
the
that's how-
MCU.
according to comic books,
But that's
they
how the
could have just
world-
used the name without the history.
Yeah, that's how the world serpent came around and
The world
Hela.
serpent.
And Hela. Yeah,
Yeah,
both of them.
'cause
They're both Loki's
Hela's-
kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
in mythology.
Hell's-
Mythology and part of
supposed to
some of the
be.
comics. That's the same exact way too.
I wonder why they switched Hela's origin.
Because it was about Thor,
Yeah, not Loki.
not Loki. So it was about Thor. That's why they switched her origin because she's Loki's kid in the comics.
Yeah. Yeah.
She also have skeleton all the time.
Man, she was cool.
Yeah.
Hela was so cool.
Kate Blanchett is amazing.
Yes.
Your wife did a pretty cool cosplay of a Hela holding the Thor's hammer and everything. Like it
Yeah,
was.
she did.
You can find that on Pornhub. Oh, man.
Fantastic.
Boy. Love
Boy, I don't know where to
it.
go.
How do you follow after that?
It's
This is our break time.
talking about Loki is difficult because like I said, there's just so many things that could happen, and it's so hard to wrap your mind around.
Yeah.
They could go any direction. They could go with the comics, or they could not. Or they'll probably do both. They'll go kind of their own direction, but
They did that with Sylvie combining two characters already.
yeah.
So
I mean,
Like-
Kang already been combined with the He Who Remains and everything.
I
so-
want to talk specifically about like Loki and how it relates to the overall MCU because WandaVision made some changes to that particular character. And in Falcon and Winter Soldier, we saw changes to those particular characters. But Loki's really the first show that we've seen to have drastic changes for the entire MCU.
I think that's because they even said it about Loki. He's there to further other people. Like his whole creation is to further other people. So I think he's literally there to open the gates. Like he's still going to be in the MCU and still going to cause problems and issues. But
Right.
I think they used his show to do that because that's who his whole character. That's what his
For
whole character
sure.
is.
But like when we think about the shows that are coming up on Disney Plus, we've got the Hawkeye show, right?
The What If.
That's coming up. The What Ifs, which those don't count. But like,
Well, they
I
could.
think they
count.
do, man.
They do.
Count.
It's
That's
Marvel.
going to continue the story.
It's
That's
Marvel
what the whole
Cinematic.
multiverse is
Yeah,
about,
it's Marvel
Ryan.
Cinematic Universe, and now we're going to see other types of multiverse things happen.
There's a whole like the What If comics, you know, they're normally one shots.
yeah.
There's a 5-issue limited run that has to do with Uatu and He Who Remains.
Uatu's the Watcher.
One of the only times, the Watcher. He's kind of like a rogue sort of Watcher. Like he's not supposed to interfere. Watchers aren't supposed. They take an oath not to interfere.
Right.
But like this particular Watcher, like
He
interferes in really subtle ways.
yeah.
Like over and over and over again. So I'm thinking,
wouldn't go-
is he going to be the hero protagonist of the series, and that's going to lead into Eternals?
Okay. Sure. But like that, but they already said that stuff wasn't canon.
The What If?
Yeah.
Well, they said that before Loki finished.
They also told us there's only one Spider-Man in No Way Home.
Yeah. Kevin Feige's like, some rumors are true, some rumors are not. That's what he said about it.
You know,
You can't deny
If
that.
you haven't heard it from Mark Ruffalo or Tom Holland, who knows?
yeah, for real.
Who knows what's
For
going
the
on?
other shows that are on Disney Plus, like they can't have as much of an impact as Loki has had.
Yeah.
I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like Hawkeye has to be a more self-contained story than Loki. Like,
I think Hawkeye. You have like Earth, and then you have like space, and then you have.
Well, Secret Invasion's coming, so that's going to be.
Well, actually, and they're saying too, like I just saw it today, that the guy who played Kingpin in the Daredevil series,
Is
Yeah,
coming.
and they're
is
saying
coming
Daredevil
to
is
Hawkeye.
too. They're saying Daredevil's coming back too.
Daredevil,
Like,
Matt
Daredevil.
Murdock's
Yeah.
going to be Tom Holland's lawyer.
Yeah.
Well,
Part
Charlie
of
Cox was supposed to
Is it-
have a
is it
con
Charlie
appearance
Cox?
recently,
And She-Hulk
Cox,
is getting a show, and she's also an attorney.
Yep.
So.
she's a prosecutor.
Tatiana
mostly.
Maslany is amazing. I am so glad
Yeah.
Yes.
she
Yes.
is in that show.
But no, recently Cox was supposed to make a con appearance.
Yeah.
And he had to cancel. And it happened to be at the same time they were doing reshoots for Spider-Man 3. Is that coincidence?
Maybe he got the flu.
Yeah, right.
Could have been. Or he's in Spider-Man 3. Confirmed. Heard it here first. Just kidding. Everybody's
Also,
been
the
saying it.
Kingpin character was involved with Echo, who is also confirmed to be in Hawkeye. So,
Yep.
I'm excited if he comes back to play Kingpin.
Yes.
Oh, he was
is the
so
best
good.
Kingpin I've ever
yeah.
seen.
Yep.
Horrifying.
Yeah.
Horrifying guy.
Horrifying.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the same thing. If they keep Daredevil, Punisher, Luke Cage,
They can just
anybody
pick-
but
I
Iron
wanna
Fist.
see it.
Actually,
Yes,
I'm
I
okay
wanna
with
see
I think
anybody
a
but
lot of
Iron
people are
Fist.
wanting them to bring back the Ghost Rider actor.
Yeah.
Not Nick Cage,
Not
the
Nick
other
Cage.
one.
Oh, I want to see Norman
Nick Cage.
Reedus.
Nick Cage. Well,
Norman Reedus as Ghost Rider.
He's
would be
constantly.
Oh yeah,
begging
I've
for
heard
it.
that. But did you see that post that the guy that plays Ghost Rider in the show?
Agent Shield.
Yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh.
He posted a picture of the Darkhold book. And he said, "Sorry, I must have left this. He said, underneath the mattress is not a good spot to leave things, or something, because he has the
That's
Darkhold."
hilarious.
I think he'd make a good cosmic Ghost Rider. Just look him up.
Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Look him up. He's actually
We just making up Ghost Riders now.
Isn't he the reason Thanos is bad?
Yes, literally,
He
he
raised
goes-
Thanos, and that's the reason Thanos.
he goes back
became-
in time to kill Thanos as a baby, and instead, like, I will raise him the right way, and that's what makes Thanos evil.
Brody's plan
great.
just
Yeah.
find baby Thanos and just.
Oh, it's that Deadpool, that cut scene or that end credit scene for Deadpool. He's like, maximum effort. You see the kid's name is A. Hitler. It's like, oh, like, dang.
Deadpool is going to be fun in this split wide open multiverse.
I think Deadpool should take Stan Lee's cameos.
Yes.
He should be the one reoccurring character.
That would be funny.
Like, even if he's in the full Deadpool costume but has like a mailman outfit
Yeah.
over it.
yeah, he still got the mask on.
That's 100% Deadpool.
He's just
right
got
there,
like a
too.
taco stand,
Yeah.
like food truck or something in the background. That'd be awesome.
And he has to look at the cameras and just like, I don't know what they're doing. They can put me here. Huh?
And they got to stop with the chimichangas with him. Like, his character hates chimichangas
Yeah.
in the comics. Absolutely hates them.
Earlier, we talked about mutants being brought in. Mm-hmm. There is a new rumor or confirmed casting for Black Panther of a black actress. She's either going to be Wakandan and she's going to come in as someone, or she could come in as Storm.
Storm.
Well, you know who
Is
the...
it Beyonce?
Ooh.
Is it Beyonce? Because she's in
It's
the
not.
cast list.
It's not Beyonce. Her
Beyonce plays Storm.
her name is Michaela.
Pass.
Beyonce's going to play Black Panther.
Who's gonna play Wolverine though? We've been talking about this. I mean, I know we get Wayne from Letterkenny, but
Yep.
No, we need Hugh Jackman. That was a perfect.
Hugh
casting.
Jackman is too
he's
tall.
too old. If
True,
he's,
good point. That's
if
a
he's
good
trying
point.
to do this till 2040, like
No, I'm just trying to
he's got
figure
at least 15 years.
I'm
to be
really hoping
playing that
Keanu Reeves is
character.
Namor in that movie.
Namor is confirmed to be the villain in Black Panther Wakanda
Yeah.
Forever. So he is a mutant.
I hope it's Keanu Reeves.
Right. That makes sense.
They're like constantly talking.
It's
to each
not
other.
by the
Keanu
ocean.
Reeves.
And they fight,
Dude.
like in the comics and everything, they fight constantly. Like they're always fighting. Who's more superior? Like it's Wakanda.
Yeah, the Wakandans, obviously, but
Well, which by the way, you know, Wakanda owns like all the heroes now. Like Captain America's suit, you know, is Wakanda. It's
yeah.
vibranium.
They have a shut off switch for that as well, just like they do with Bucky's arm. It's like
His arm.
yeah.
Vision,
put in a code.
You should
really
knew the
quick on that.
passcode to your arm.
Vision is 100% vibranium.
Yeah.
But then, as you said, with like, talk about a disarming move they know how to do on the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
They could have
still
inserted like a cheesy joke there. I wish they would have.
I still think that scene was amazing. They weren't even super soldiers. You're right. They're just badasses, and they just kicked your ass.
That's another thing. Talking about Wyatt Russell acting.
Oh,
for
man.
John Walker, he was so good.
Yeah.
He was good because I hated the character.
I hated John Walker.
You hate the character, and then that means the actor's doing a really good job.
Yeah.
Like,
Reminds me
Dark
of
Avengers.
like Kang. Kang, for example. Like, I didn't like I liked Kang, but like I hated him as like I was like, who the heck is this guy? But he was because
I loved how
actor's name.
chill
Oh,
he was.
does such a good job.
Have you ever been entertained like watching a video or cinema or whatever, a TV show? I don't know what to call it. It's cinema, but it's on an app on the TV. So, but watching three people in a room sitting across the desk from each other, like I've never been that.
Yeah,
entertained
I
just
love
watching
Quentin.
dialogue.
I love Quentin Tarantino. He does that in every single one of his movies. Like literally.
I do love Quentin Tarantino.
It's a whole hour of it though. That was good.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought this episode, like, was it the most exciting thing in the world? No, I mean, it wasn't.
Yes.
Well, it wasn't an action scene. Like,
Right.
there wasn't a lot going on. They were just talking. But, like, I was entertained the whole time they were just talking.
I liked when they were fighting and King was just like watching. He's like, go ahead.
Go ahead, Troy.
Yeah, he had a smile on his face.
Yeah, the whole thing was I have this bad habit of falling asleep during shows. I fell asleep during the first 2 episodes of Loki. I started this season, this series at least 5 times. Because when I fall asleep, I don't remember when I fell asleep, so I have to restart. Completely wipe it and restart. The last episode seems like it'd be the most boring, but that was the one that I watched the latest and watched the whole thing without falling asleep.
Because you find out so much information.
It's like
the future of the
loyal.
MCU is literally
That
now.
episode.
I just like the fact that they're sitting there listening to him, and both of the Lokis have swords in their laps. Like,
I don't care what you have to say. I'm gonna stab you anyway.
right.
Which
You,
is
you were
They were
talking.
willing to hear him out, though, so that's a good thing.
kind of contradicting what classic Loki did. He was like, using daggers just dampens your like actual power that you have. Just stop using it and use your magic. And then he created an entire thing of Asgard. Didn't touch a dagger once. Didn't actually fight anything once. Just use his magic. And then they went in there and they're like, nah, we're gonna use the daggers. We don't need magic.
Dude, use your telekinesis. Like, what do you do?
And you see Loki actually use some of the enchanting too in the fight with Sylvie.
Yeah.
It's like, man, you learned quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it is
Real
easy.
fast.
Like, they want to be the most powerful people in the world, but yet they limit themselves.
Yeah, it's like, well, I don't want to be overpowered.
Yeah.
I don't want to make it too easy. I want to work for it.
Yeah, but they're not Doctor Doom. That's what Doctor Doom does.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the most powerful. I'm bored. Like, all right, I want to start at the bottom and climb back up. Like Loki's not that way. So just to see
that
the
guy, pal.
reversal.
Yeah.
Like she was so headstrong on taking down the TVA, and she did do that. And just seeing her stick to that plan instead of trying to rule it, it's like, man, they are both different Lokis.
Yeah.
Right.
But they were like perfect together. I don't know if you guys saw that part.
God, no, they weren't.
I don't know if you guys.
They were
Yeah.
sharing
They were
a
like,
blanket as friends. Like, I have a headcanon that it
That's where
goes
it
away with all
stops.
of it.
Hey, isn't it Deadpool where the jagged little pieces just fit together? Yeah.
Wham.
God, I got you.
Wham.
Me and this guy.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So going back, like right at the beginning, somebody mentioned the dichotomy between the casual moviegoer and like the Marvel fan.
Yeah.
And I just can't imagine going to, like, let's say I'm a casual moviegoer and I go to random, the next time ever it blows up and it's box office smash. So Multiverse of Madness, let's say, and you just walk in because it's like doing billions,
Yeah.
right? And so you just walk in and watch this movie, not having seen Loki. I don't know how that's going to work out for people. So
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's going to
That's the
separate
problem
some
with
people.
shows,
People are
like-
just going to stop watching, and the shows might get better, but they might have smaller audiences.
well, McKenna, you know my sister McKenna, she went and saw Infinity War before the rest of them.
Yeah, I have
And like, how do you start there?
I have
What-
coworkers that are like, yeah, I've seen like Guardians, I saw Infinity War, and I was like, That's it.
Right,
That's
like-
all you've seen.
Yeah, like how do you do that?
Right.
Especially
Yeah.
now. Like then,
have
like
to
there was
see
a
all
lot
of
in the Infinity Saga, but like now with
Yeah.
the whole multiverse, you're gonna be constantly nudging your friend you went to the movie with,
Yeah.
like, who's this character? Who's
Well, that's
this?
it, like my mom.
Well,
does
first off,
that.
this happened, then the multiverse.
My mom's watched them all, but she doesn't necessarily like. She hasn't paid that close of attention, or she'll just get that out of her mind as soon as it's over. Like, yep, good movie. Moving on.
the first time Thanos appeared, your mom and Kennedy were like, "Who's that guy?"
Oh my! Oh, I'm so
Even
glad.
I ask myself sometimes watching it because there's so much happening. Like
Yeah.
previously,
Like,
it's
you
like
know
trying to correlate things to the past, and you're like, hold on.
It's the only reason we have a podcast, just
Yeah.
so we can keep track of what's
Yeah,
happening.
No, like I do read before I see
Yeah,
before I see a new
100%.
Marvel movie. I go back and watch the previous thing that happened.
I think.
Oh,
I
okay.
think
Yeah, that's smart.
everybody
Or all
needs
of
to do
them.
that. Because
Yeah.
I went and saw Black Widow in theaters. Credits were rolling. Everyone's leaving. I was like, "Have you guys never
Yeah,
been here
they love
before?
it. It's their first
You
time.
have to stay."
I gotta piss.
Hey, you
I
know,
really gotta go.
they did a deleted scene. They already announced that there was a deleted scene that she does the whistle at the grave.
Yeah.
And then you hear
They
the
haven't
whistle
seen it.
back.
They haven't seen it.
Oh,
Guys,
we said spoilers right in the beginning.
That's not.
I mean, that's
They
not
don't
even
know what
for the
that's
show.
about.
That's not a big thing. You'll see it at the end. It's a big giant nuke. Everyone dies. Don't worry about it.
Thanos
Rogue One.
That is Rogue One is the opposite of plot armor. Like,
Oh, Black Widow. I can tell you the greatest superpower that she has in this movie is plot armor. 100%.
Thanks for spoiling it.
No, it's just plot. Really?
Yeah, it's fine. I even want to go see it.
You know what happens? You know what happens before Infinity War, right?
Yeah.
So she gets
yeah,
bit by a spider, and she gets
And then she turns green. It's weird.
She gets bit by a radioactive camel.
Radioactive sheep, because that actually
sheep,
happened.
yeah, the sheep. Yep.
random thought. But speaking of graveyard scenes.
Excuse me?
Yeah. So in Logan, when they're at the graveyard, there's a tombstone that says Rogers on it, and Logan's set in the future. So I like to think that Logan is actually canon to the MCU already.
yeah.
We're gonna find out later.
Yeah, but
That
no
would
one,
be cool.
because
It
no
is
one
now.
knows
It
where
has to be.
Steve is in.
Yeah. And so he dies, right?
Yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Who dies in Fox's
No one knows
universe?
where he is though. Like the last time we see him, he's alive. He's just Old Man Cap, and then we never see him again. People think he's on the moon.
It's
People
because
think
he's
somewhere else.
It's because he's Joe Biden.
Yeah, he came to our
Yeah.
like a multiverse. He comes here. He became our president. There's one thing I must
Rogers
do to serve my country.
Steve Rogers would be such a better president. Just saying. Sorry.
Would he? I think
What
he'd
he'd probably get rid of a lot of government regulations, and
Yeah,
he was
would.
really against the Accords. So
Yeah.
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 that's the only
Also-
thing I know about him politically, I guess.
He's also really against loyalty.
He's into
He'll
smaller
just
smaller
leave
governments.
anyone.
Take what you will, but he's into smaller governments.
He just does what's right. By Bucky. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Bye, Bucky.
He would be lost without his Bucky VP.
Because all you would have to say in the
He
middle.
leaves them. He leaves them.
Didn't they address
Yes, he does.
He
Steve
leaves
not
Bucky.
always
They
being
knew about
right?
it though. They talked about it.
They talked about the museum.
They didn't talk to me.
Didn't they mention something like that in Falcon and the Winter Soldier about how Steve was never like perfect or something? I can't remember what. I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
There was
he-
never
he-
I thought it
another
happened.
Steve Rogers.
There was never another Steve Rogers, but I think
Yeah, he had so much doubt. Like
Yeah.
in there, they even mentioned that in there. Like Steve Rogers had so much doubt. Like, am I being what I'm supposed to be?
Yeah.
Am I being? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool seeing it because he was the perfect like soldier.
Right.
But
Yeah.
to see that he has doubts and stuff, like I bet you that helped with Bucky's arc big time.
Yeah. The one thing with like if we're going into that was the way they kind of took Steve and were like, well, he went through this and then what's the other guy's name? The fake cap.
John Walker.
John Walker.
Walker.
John Walker
U.S. agent.
struggled with that stuff too, but he did not overcome it.
Right.
Like he went the opposite direction.
Well, he took the serum, and it only makes you more of what you are.
Yes.
It makes
Yeah.
good better and bad worse.
Yes.
Yep.
But he could really throw that shield before he had that.
Yeah, oh my God.
I was sitting there looking at that like, dude.
Yeah.
And then Sam does it at the end. Like he starts whipping that thing.
Sam had to. It's cool looking between the two because when Steve throws it and it like ricochets off of things and he catches it, he doesn't like jerk back when he catches it, but Sam does because he's not souped up like that.
Yeah.
So, like, he has to change the way he catches it,
Right.
which is really cool to see.
I don't know. I still don't know why I mean, the shield is great. Don't get me wrong, but like he's got vibranium wings. Like use
He
them.
just makes a huge shield.
Why is the shield different? That's what I want to know.
It's a frisbee.
No, stop.
It will always be a frisbee.
when the shield comes out of the, at the end of Endgame, he takes the shield out of the shield case. It's a different shield. It has that like ring in the silver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why?
It was
He probably had to get another one.
So are we gonna learn that origin?
Possibly. I mean, we could.
I mean,
see why not.
is that not the one that, because Tony souped it up, right? Before he gave it to him in,
Oh, is that a thing?
yeah.
I thought
Like Tony got it out of the, I got you something.
Oh, out of the
trunk.
It got destroyed by Thanos in that final fight.
Yeah.
So that shield was gone.
Yeah, the one that Tony.
Yeah.
the
Okay.
Tony one.
Except if you're watching the pan out video, because if you look at that when all the heroes are out there, Cap shield's full there. It's full there. Way to go, Marvel.
Whoa,
Like,
Feige doesn't make mistakes.
go watch it.
It was a multiverse segment, okay?
And they also that one little part. This happened in a different.
That's what they're gonna say. Like, yeah, we threw some bits and pieces in there that were from all their multiverses. All those fuck ups you saw, those are totally
what
On purpose.
pisses me off. I know we're getting off track on this. Sorry, I do this all the time on our podcast.
Bring it over.
What's the show called?
Crazy train of thought. We're on a crazy train for sure.
So literally in Infinity War, Corvus Grave, who fights and just messes up Vision, and that literally gets stabbed by Okia. Just a little spear takes him out in Endgame, and I'm like, are you serious? That's all it took.
Vibranium spear, mister.
Vision's vibranium, and he just wrecked Vision like nothing. I mean, Okia, is it Okio? Am I saying? Yeah, Okio. Okoye. Thank you.
Yep.
She is amazing. She's great in there. And I'm not trying to knock any credit from her, but Vision would just destroy
Vision's
her.
a superhero.
Yeah.
Right. I would like to see more of the Black Order. I wish they didn't kill him off so quick.
Yeah.
In Endgame, she stabs him like right when they're all like running into each other, or the woman power part, and where she just stabs him and kills him instantly, and I'm sitting there like, what?
Wait a minute.
He's like the coolest Black Order guy. And
Okay, but have you ever seen Captain Planet when their powers combine, all the women in one line stand together? It amplifies.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God. Okay. I think we got to end this thing. We could probably keep going.
Forever.
We could go forever.
I could go.
in the
all time.
multiverse for all time.
I can marvel all day.
Yeah. As it turns out, that is true. Thank
We
you.
haven't started talking about the Fantastic Four yet.
I mean, do you want to do that?
Well, you're here, I guess. If you insist.
Yeah, we're almost at we're probably an hour and a half in or so. It's a little longer than our pods normally are. Does anybody final thoughts on Loki, how it relates to the MCU, final predictions that maybe we didn't get to in the rounds?
I loved Loki as a Marvel fan.
Okay.
I didn't like it that much as a Loki fan.
Okay.
That's
Fair.
my final thought.
All right. All right. Would you like to show everyone your tattoo? Is it in a visible area?
It's in my.
Okay, very cool.
Safe. That's
Very
safe.
cool.
You look at it upside down.
Okay.
Yeah, it's sweet.
I can't
That's pretty
see
cool.
it, but
Everybody said it looks
That's
really
why I put mine here so
Yeah.
I can see
My-
it.
Yeah.
Yep, it still looks cool.
I'm getting John Walker tatted on my back.
Nobody would.
Wait, you too?
my plan is to get Thor's on the other arm facing it.
cool.
So
That'd
this
be
is
cool.
my good guy arm. This is my bad guy arm.
All right.
Ooh, you can add stuff. Add
Yeah.
some Kang in there.
Are you right or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Okay.
So my bad side is what I use the
Chose
most.
the
What
bad.
controls everything?
No,
Also, Loki's my right-hand man.
nice.
Nice.
Oh,
Like it.
man.
Nice.
I like it.
I wouldn't trust that, but
After that episode 6, I'm so much more excited for everything that's coming next. Like I was kind of excited for Eternals. Now I'm really excited for Eternals.
yeah,
I was
because
really
they have to
excited
address everything that happened.
for Multiverse of Madness. Like that one already had me kind of stoked. But,
Yeah.
and Spider-Man, but it's like now it's like it kind of just amplifies everything else, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, now I know what level they're playing at.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
is
this
big
crazy
leagues.
level.
Right.
It's gone. Like if I would have saw
Like
it going this
XFL.
direction from Iron Man 1, I'd have been like, what?
Oh,
what?
jeez.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Moving on, like, yeah, I mean, we mentioned at the beginning of the show, starting at Iron Man, and now we're getting this?
Yeah.
What?
People starting now would be like a struggle. Like you got to get
Yeah.
through everything to get to this.
They
point.
let us
Good
here with a
luck.
carrot. Like, yeah, just if you were to pick up right now, it'd be what is happening? You know,
Yeah, they did lead us with
I
a
literally
carrot, for
watch
sure.
every Marvel movie before a new movie comes out in a row. Every time.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know how many times.
Not all. I was doing that up until after Endgame.
My
Now
family
everything,
loves
I'm not
it, so
doing
we
that.
watch it every time.
Wow.
they
I think
come out
I'm
once a
going to
month
start
now.
at Endgame. Endgame and
I didn't say I had a life.
Nothing is ever on his TV except MCU movies. It just plays on a loop. He's got a Plex server, and it just rolls.
It's like you go on vacation and that movie channel that always plays all MCU
Yeah.
all the time.
it's gonna. There's gonna be a Marvel channel, and that's all it's gonna be.
But no,
No, it's
I would
Disney
pay
Plus.
for that.
yeah, the infinite possibilities with Loki is awesome, but I'm still really hoping that somebody destroys the rest of them all, because the moral complexity of that is I'm going to kill billions and billions and billions just to make sure this timeline stays fine.
Right.
It could
a
be
pretty
Kang.
crazy way of looking at it.
It could be Kang. It could be Doctor Strange. But it's sometimes that's what they got to do to save
Cable.
themselves. Cable. Really going with Cable?
It's
Hey,
Star-Lord.
remember what Cable was like
Star-Lord's
threw
gonna fuck
bombs
everyone
in the
over
time
again.
No,
machine
he-
just blew
hey.
up people?
Star-Lord's the reason we got Endgame. We got to be happy about
I
it.
didn't say I loved Endgame.
Whoa.
I like Infinity War better than Endgame.
It's better story.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree.
For sure.
I agree.
All right.
Anyway,
I think that's it. Thank you everybody so much for listening. This has been Crazy Train of Thought episode, wherever the fuck we're on. Thank you, Troy, for
Yep.
being here. Thank you, Madalyn. Hogey, Shan. I
Our
appreciate you
pleasure.
guys coming to the podcast. This has been awesome
Fuck you, Colin.
to have you guys.
I want to come in your studio more often.
Yes.
I appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
He's like, no, this episode was too long. We're not.
No,
not inviting
no,
you
I
again.
yeah, fuck those guys.
We've done 5-hour podcasts before. Like, it's fine. It's
We
fine.
could easily reach that right now.
Yeah, we could. This could go on all night.
We could.
and I wouldn't
Pull
even
up
be
that
bothered.
Shang-Chi trailer. Let's go.
Oh my God.
You want to talk about Abomination? We can talk about Abomination.
And obviously, thank you to Colin Freakin Giffy
Yeah.
for being here.
you for
Appreciate it,
having
man. Thank you, everybody who checked out the stream. Somebody said in the chat that the audio was
wife.
messed up. Oh, yeah, Rachel said in the chat. Sorry about that.
Thanks for reminding me again.
Shut this shit down.
Some woman named Giggly Mom. I don't even know.
We're done.
All right. Adios.
Goodbye.
That's all, folks. What the fuck?